The Packers had some big injuries, of course, in the preseason, but to my eye, at least, basically looking as good as ever. Seattle, maybe not, and they will face off Sunday night in NFL Week 2, and we're going to get some line analysis from Al McMordie, BigAl.com, industry veteran who really knows how to look at these lines, avoid traps, and find betting value. Al McMordie, when I saw this game, I know that the one big thing you want to avoid in the NFL is overreacting to Week 1 results, right? But when I saw this matchup and the line, Green Bay was a 3-point favorite at home. I thought Green Bay was the side with value. Now the line market wide is 3.5 or 4. We know that Green Bay, with a good offensive line and Aaron Rodgers, is basically going to always be an offensive juggernaut. Seattle looks like they're having some legitimate problems when they go up against elite teams. They look like they're maybe a kind of team you want to fade. Is Green Bay minus 3.5 maybe the side with value here?
Well, in the NFL, you should never have any hard and fast rules, but perhaps one hard and fast rule should be thou shalt not bet against Aaron Rodgers.
Right, sure.
Since he became the starter in the 2008 season, the Packers have been a big-time moneymaker at home. They've gone 77-38 straight up, 68-44 with 3 pushes against the spread in his 115 starts. At home, the Packers, those are his numbers at home and on the road. But at home, the Packers have done their best work with Rodgers, 44-11 straight up, 34-18 against the spread, as with him as the starter, including 5-1 with a push in the home openers. And with that as a backdrop, it's awfully hard for me to make a case against Green Bay here, especially with what's happened over the last 8 months. Because, if you look back at that championship game when Brandon Bostic, blew the onside kick, the kick was supposed to be caught by Jordy Nelson. And Bostic, of course, made the ill-advised decision to try to go get the ball, and he fumbled. Seattle recovered. And then, of course, Green Bay blew that huge fourth-quarter lead and lost the game in overtime. They never even touched the ball in overtime. Seattle went down the field, got the touchdown. They won 28-22, and then on to the Super Bowl. So, for the last 8 months, all the Green Bay Packers have done is answer questions about that game. And the first thing they did, actually, right after the game was they got rid of Brandon Bostic. They waived him. And then, ironically, Jordy Nelson, who the ball should have gone to, he's, as you mentioned, he's out with that injury as well. So there's nothing that Green Bay wants more than to redeem itself in this game. It's their home opener at Lambeau. Seattle's the one team that's kind of screwed them over the last few years. You remember that game, I think, on Monday Night Football where the referee blew that call. So Green Bay really, really, really wants a game. Just because you want it doesn't mean you're going to get it. But I think Green Bay is going to definitely, come to play. The one thing that does worry me a little bit, Peter, is that Seattle's been terrific as an underdog, 18-5 with a push their last 24 in that role. You really don't want to give, the Seahawks and Pete Carroll points, but given Green Bay's extremely strong record with Aaron Rodgers as the starter, both, at home as well as overall, I find it very hard to go against the Packers here.
Yeah, I guess Seattle's stock has really fallen if we're liking, betting against them getting 3.5 points. Obviously, 3 would have been much better, but you'd still take him. You'd still recommend him as a pick at minus 3.5?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds great. Al McMordie from BigAl.com. That is your website. That's where all your for-pay picks, your premium picks go every week and every day. Right, Al? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I had a terrific year. We had a terrific year. It seems like every year in the NFL, it's one of my specialties. I think our record in pro football since 2013 is now 204 wins and 142 losses. We were 4-2 in week 1 of the NFL. We had our NFL game of the week on the Atlanta Falcons. So, it's just been a terrific run, the last few years in pro football. This week, we should have 5 or 6 pro football plays, should have about 9 or 10 college football plays. Last weekend, we were 11-6 on our selection Saturday through Monday. And if folks want to go to the website, they can go to BigAl.com. Not only get our best plays, but there are 3 free plays every day at our website, both from myself as well as from Larry Ness and Scott Spreitzer. And then you can get winning selections from a ton of great handicappers, including myself, as I mentioned, Scott Spreitzer, Larry Ness, there's Wayne Root, there's Tom Stryker, and Ben Burns, and about 15 guys on the website with our best selections.
All right, and thanks for your free pick with us today. Packers minus 3.5. Thanks, Al.